What's going on, guys? It's Jarrid here from Cardoverflow, and we're coming at you with a couple deck profiles. And this one's going to be a cubic one, and we just uploaded a Magician Pendulum one earlier. So these are all results from locals and success that we've had with our decks, just trying new things since the Banlist dropped. So yeah, with this deck, I went X1 at locals, and we decided to split the top four. But I felt really confident with it. I really liked the deck. I think it went really, really well. And so yeah, I'm going to share the deck with you. So to start off, we play 3 Duza. He's the card that starts everything. You need him to win, essentially. This is the one that matters. When he's summoned, you send any cubic card from your deck to the graveyard. And when a monster is sent to your graveyard, you can give him a little attack boost, but it's mostly for the deck to graveyard effect that matters for him. The card that literally wins you the game is this guy right here, Cubic Nova, the Dark Cubic Lord. He's absolutely amazing. When you need 3 cubic cards with different names in your hand, and to reveal them, and you summon him, which is inherent, so they can't chain like maxing or anything to you. And when he beats over a monster, he can attack again. So he's 3,000 attack, so that's like heavy damage as it is. And then during the end phase, you burn both players for 3,000 if he's on the field still, and that's not once per turn, so you can have like 2 of them out, and it does like 6,000 damage, which is like obnoxious. And he's unaffected by any monster that's less attack than him, so less than 3,000. I was gonna play this when Zodiacs were still around, but we all know that the Trident's banned. There's no point in this anymore. But I think it's really good still because you could just kill your opponent. But I was gonna try it for next format. That's why I decided to play it today because I already had it made. So I'm like, why not try it out? See if it still works, and it worked out really well. So yeah. So like I said, for the Nova, we need the different names. So we play 3 Vijams. He's the only other summonable one, just normal summonable one, and he can't be destroyed by battle, which is really important. So like if I walled off one of my opponents when they were trying to game me and they thought I was playing defensive and they ran into this and they didn't have an out for it, you can also put cubic counters on things, which so they can't be unaffected. They can't activate their effects or attack, which is really good. So yeah, and he's also, you dump him for one of the spell cards, give him an attack boost. But he's mainly just in here for a name, to be honest. And then you have all of these guys, which essentially are just names. These 3 are the only usable ones. These things are like pretty much literally useless. You never summon them, any of them by their own ways, except for this one sometimes for the burn damage, because sometimes that's relevant. But these guys, you bring them out with the trap card, and you use their last effect. So like when they're sent to the graveyard, after you go through all your juices and your Vijams, you search a card and you special summon 3 of them back, which is just insane, the card advantage that you gain from that. One time I crashed it in to get that effect, and you just get so many cards, and you set yourself up for next turn. So that's it for the cubic monsters, and now for not cubic monsters, we have 1 Maxi, should be banned, I'm not discussing that. And then since we have 3 Summoner Monks, we're obviously playing 3 of it, because we need to get to our Duza, clearly. This deck plays a lot of spell cards, so it works really well. This card was this is the only complaint card I think I have, because it wasn't a cubic card, so like it like clogged up my hand every once in a while, and it was very susceptible to things like Ghost Ash and the Solemns, because this deck wants to go second, because you just want to end the game as quickly as possible. So yeah, like it got Ghost Ashed once. That was like almost game ending for me, and that was really disappointing. But that was the one match I lost. I ran into a Solemn Warning and I ran into a Ghost Ash twice. So I mean, it was unfortunate, but that was from my only loss in the day. I'll take it. So that's all the monsters for the deck. For the cubic spell cards, we play 3 Cubic Wave and 3 Cubic Karma. They both have graveyard effects, but their effects when they're activated, this doubles a cubic's attack and halves one monster your opponent controls attack, which is really good. So your Crimson Nova goes up to 6,000 and can swing twice, which is insane. This is like what makes like those crazy damaging boards. You can just be killed over any board, a full spiral board you can even get over with this card and game them through it, which is nuts. And then this card, if you activate it, you target 1, you send 3 Vijams from your hand or deck to graveyard, and your monster gains 800 attack per Vijam you sent. So that puts them all in your graveyard for future plays, because a lot of your monsters use Vijams in grave. And when it's in the graveyard, you banish it, and you search any cubic monster, which is really crazy good. And that's they're not once per turn, so that's why I like it so much. So you can go Summoner Monk, discard Karma, get Duza, send another Karma with the Duza, banish both Karmas, get 2 more cubic guys to set up for a play, like overlay for a rank 4 if you want to, or do something else. It's a lot of different stuff. And when you banish this from the graveyard, you banish it with cubic monsters. And you put cubic counters on monsters your opponent controls equal to the number of monsters you banish with it. So, like against a Stargrail guy I played, or Wolf Chalice, sorry, I put him all in his like link monsters that he had, like a Firewall Dragon, an Igritsu, Totemic Bomber Dragon, and like it just shut him down for like the next turn because you know that deck kind of is just like a one-shot kill deck, and when you're like just lock them all down like that, they can't do much. So yeah, this card's really good too. To dump these, the Karmas mainly is 3 Foolish Burial Goods. It's pretty much a Rhoda. If you open up 2 of them, you can discard the second one with Summoner Monk and go off that, which is like it's just really good. It does so many different things for the deck. And then, like I said, the Crimson Nova, he's only affected by monsters, so Spell and Traps are a really big problem with the deck. My biggest fear when I made it originally was for Dracos, but that's pretty much almost dead. It's not that scary anymore. So I was playing 3 Twin Twisters and double Forbidden Lance, just to pretty much, you know, play through the back row. These were amazing. These never came up. So yeah, and this also clears out like the dead trap card out of your hand. I'm gonna go over in a second, and like extra spells like the cubic karmas, so you can like it can turn into a Rhoda. And this was for like the cubic trap, the Draco traps. But like I said, I don't know how the format's gonna shape up. I figured I'd rather be safe than sorry. And yeah, overall, I think it worked out really well. And then for draw cards, we played 1 Upstart, 1 Dawn 1000, and 2 Desires. This is pretty much 39 cards. You can play through the damage that you give them. It's self-explanatory. It's Pot of Greed. This card, it's literally you and your opponent take 1,000, so it makes it a little bit easier to kill them. And both players draw cards. So you give them a card, but usually you don't. It's pretty irrelevant. And then the other effect is while it's on the field, any card drawn is revealed, and then if they have if any of the cards revealed are spell cards, that player can't normal summon. So it's like kind of annoying, but the point is you can just like you can set the spell card if you draw it or something like that, or you can just like Twin Twister or something. But it's not. The point is you draw a card. That's what matters with this. So yeah, it's really in there for a draw card. I was thinking about cutting the Upstart Goblin for a second one of these, but if you open up both of them, you can't. It's only once per turn, so I decided to just play 1 Upstart, 1 of this. That's it for all the spells, and for traps, I only play 3 Unification. This card's absolutely crazy. It keeps you in the game. It's not once per turn, as I said earlier. There's like a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. It's a fusion trap card, but the only fusion monster is this, which requires 3 Novas, which is kind of irrelevant. But the graveyard effect is what matters. When a cubic monster is removed from the field, you banish it and you summon any level 4 or lower cubic from the deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. And that is insane because you can do so many different things with it. I could just summon this and send this and I would feel safe because I feel like there's no way they can out it. Even if they attack all three of these, you keep sending them and you just keep banishing them. And even if they get through all 3 of them, the last one of these you banish, you bring out one of the level 4 guys that I was saying earlier. So something like him. When you bring him out, if this dies now, but it best be destroyed by battle or card effect. But still, if it dies though, you can literally summon back all 3 of these, or like the jams, and you search a cubic card, which is just insane because of how much advantage you can get off that install power it is that you need for the deck to able just to kill your opponent outright later. So yeah, overall that's the main deck. I really like it. The deck really only needs the main deck just to win. The extra deck's kind of like it came up like I think once, but it was kind of irrelevant. So this is the only fusion monster. You only need to play 1 of it because it's just game if you get it off. You need 3 Novas. It's just game. I'm not even going to explain what it does. But I never made it, but it's there in case you do need it. Everything else is kind of just like whatever you want to make of it. You know, I play some burn cards just in case I need the extra damage. Somewhat of like small hits like that. You know, general like Castell, something to get over Masterpiece, a Link monster just for in case I use Summoner Monk. It's the same thing, like I said. You can Monk for a guy, do a Dump Trap, and then you send them both away for Proxy Dragon, and you can just go off that. So it's kind of cool. That's the extra deck. You know, you can make it however you want it, but like I said, you don't go into it that much. There's a lot of general stuff. And then for like the side deck, just honestly, just make it how you want it because the format's undecided. Like just general stuff, like Ghost Ashes, Ghost Ogres, like Effect Veil, or screw it, you know? Anything like that. Because we don't know how the meta is going to shape out to be. But yeah, if you need anything at all, any foreign cards, you could always check out cardoverflow.com. And yeah, hopefully we're going to be seeing you guys soon at some events. Yeah, hope you enjoyed.